Hey, good afternoon. How are you?
Good evening from Kabul, Afghanistan. How are
Yeah,
you?
good
Like,
morning from Langley, Canada.
it's okay, thank you. And how are you?
I'm doing really well, thank you. I have a little bit of a cold in my nose, but I think I'm going to be okay.
Oh, hope you're doing well. So, first of all, introduce yourself, and then we'll talk
Sure.
about something else, okay?
Yeah, well, it's very nice to be here and nice to see you. I wish I could see your class too and see all the smiling faces. Yeah, my name is Philip. That's my given name, and my surname, my family name is Gertson. And so Philip is Philip and Gertzen is Goertzen. And yes, I am an English teacher. I've been an English teacher and professor for my whole career. I started when I was 24 years old, and I moved to Japan, and I taught English in Japan. And then I've taught English in not a lot of different countries, but many countries, five or six different countries. I did my undergraduate in Canada and my PhD, doctor's degree in Edinburgh in Scotland. And so my specialty, the thing I like the most is teacher development. So if you want to become an English teacher, my the favorite thing that I do is help you become a better English teacher. Whether you are a native speaker or whether you are a non-native speaker, it doesn't matter to me. In fact, I'm more interested if you are a non-native speaker because you have a more difficult job. And so I think that's a challenge for you and for me.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much for
Yeah,
the introduction. So, Mr. Philip, is it okay to call you Mr. Philip?
absolutely. You can call me anything you want, but Mr. Philip is very polite. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Mr. Philip. So, as you say, we are non-native speakers, right? We are just
Yeah.
English language learners. So, can you just, as a teacher, as a PhD, or as a doctor, or as a
Yeah.
teacher, can you just say something or suggest us how to learn English in a very easy way in a very short time?
Right. So everybody wants to learn a language as fast as possible and as easily as possible. But languages are not fast things and they're not easy things. They take time and they're also difficult. But if I say that kind of thing, of course, there's better ways of doing things. And you know, I would start in the big picture, and the big picture is be patient. Be patient with yourself. Be patient with your teachers, be patient with other people, because you need to be paying attention and you need to be not anxious while you're learning. And so the first thing I would say is don't be afraid to make mistakes. I mean, these are very easy things, very common things. You have to be willing to be humble. If you are so proud that you can't make a mistake, you will be a slow language learner. But if you are humble, you will go much faster. I think I wrote down three pieces of advice. Would that help you, do you think?
Yeah, absolutely.
Professor Bayat, can I call you that?
No, no, I'm not a professor Bayat. Just but Bayat is okay.
Okay, Mr. Bayat then. How about that?
It's okay. It's okay.
Okay. Well, the first thing I think, every teacher will say the same thing, that you learn English by using English. You have to try it. You have to practice it. And I think speaking it with your friends, even if it's very limited, even if you can only say, my name is Bayat or my name is um, Rahmatullah, okay?
Okay.
Even if you just say very basic things like that, that will help your brain think more in English and get your brain practicing in English. So, excuse me, practice makes perfect, we say, and practice is very, very important. Just a second, I have to cough. You can hear my cold. I'm sorry. Um, so now just practicing is good, but practicing with a purpose, with a reason, with an intention is better. So for example, you can watch an English movie or you can watch English television or listen to English music or something like that. You can do those kinds of things. And maybe it will help you a little bit with English, But if you watch with a purpose, you will learn more. So if you watch with a movie and you say to yourself, I'm only going to listen for a certain grammatical part of speech. So, for example, just listen to for adjectives. So, words that are describing other words. So, you're just listening for words like big and small and colorful and interesting. And every time you hear it, maybe you write it down. So, of course, if you're watching a 2 hour movie, that's too much. You can't watch 2 hours and write down every word. So I would break a movie up, just, watch 1 hour and 55 minutes for enjoyment and watch 5 minutes for learning English.
Exactly.
So for those 5 minutes, just really focus on one thing, adjectives or pronunciation features, or even watching people's eye movement and eyebrow movement and head movement and trying to copy their head movement, for example, or their hand movement. All those things will help English. But it's not just watching, but watching with a purpose. Does that make sense?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
What do you think of that idea?
That's great. I think that is a great one because when we watch a film or movie for 1 hour and a half, so it is impossible to learn all these things. As you
Yeah,
say, watch for an hour for enjoyment and just watch it for 5 minutes for learning something. That's the great
that's
idea.
exactly right.
Yeah,
Yeah, and I think with all things, don't try to do something too large. So if you begin exercising, maybe you decide that you want to get more exercise, and you decide, well, I'm going to go running for 5 kilometers or 10 kilometers. Well, you can't do that if you haven't practiced first. So start with something very, very small, run for 500 meters, run for 1 kilometer, and then over time build it longer and longer. Well, English learning, all learning is the same. And our ability to concentrate, to think, and focus on a task is not 1 hour or 2 hours. It should be in 5 minutes or 10 minute
exactly.
um, segments. Do you know the word chunks? Chunks. Chunks means
No,
like a segment, like a segment. So do it in small chunks, small segments.
yeah, exactly. You mean,
Yeah, and the other thing, it's kind of a psychology, how your brain is, how your mind and your brain are thinking. If you are successful with something small, then you will do it again. But if you fail with something big, then you say, "Oh, this doesn't work. I'm not going to do this again." Well, that's the same whether you're in Afghanistan or Canada, no matter who you are.
yeah,
If you have small successes are better than big attempts, big tries often end in failure, but small things often end in success. And our brains are better, we're happier, and we're more likely to repeat it if we have a small success. So, if 5 minutes is too long, do 1 minute. Just do 1 minute. Have a 1 minute success, and next time have a 2 minute success. I think some of this is like for learning English, and some of this is just kind of a life lesson,
yeah,
maybe it's like I'm an older man, so I'm older man telling you a younger man something useful, which is, when you take a bite of food, take a bite that's not too big. If you take too much, we have an expression, don't bite off more than you can chew. That's an English proverb. Do you know that English proverb? Don't
yeah.
bite more than you can chew.
No, we have
It's
as
good.
well. We
Do you
have
have a
it.
similar one? Do you have a similar proverb?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, many languages have that proverb, don't bite off more than you can chew. But that's also true for all kinds of education, not just English, but especially with English. So
Okay,
yeah, use your successes. The third idea, and this is a little more technical or maybe a little more difficult, is that I think you should have a journal. Like I have a journal like this, like a book with or just a little notebook, something. I always have a notebook with me, some kind of notebook.
okay.
And you're watching a movie and use the subtitles, right? So they're speaking in English, but on the bottom it's written in English, and you see a word that you don't know. Well, every movie you watch or every TV show or every YouTube English clip that you watch, try to learn one new word, not 20 new words, one new word.
Okay.
And try to understand the word from the video that you're watching. So try to get the meaning from the video. Guess at the meaning from the video. Don't immediately look up the word on Google or in your dictionary, but try to guess the word from the video, from the context. And that is a much better way. It's better because then you remember. If you look up the word and look up the meaning, you have to remember the meaning. But if you learn the word from the context in the video, then your brain naturally remembers it because you can remember what you saw, what you heard. If you learned it in a conversation with another person, all your senses, even smell is connected to the meaning of that word. And so, when I visited your country in Kabul, the smell of food is different than the smell of food in Canada. But I can remember the smell the first time I smelled Kabuli palau. I can remember that smell, and now I know what Kabuli palau is, not just from a definition, but from tasting it, from smelling it, from seeing it, from enjoying it with a friend. And so the more context you have with a word, the more of the senses that are involved with the word, the more you remember. And I would suggest writing down those words in a journal. Make it really small, like a small one like this. You can put it in your pocket and carry it with you with a pen. I mean, a good language learner is just a good learner. A good learner takes notes. A good learner is always writing things down.
Okay. Thank you very much.